first base I was on, of course, that's the one I think I've told you about. That's one that Clark Gable came in.
Yeah, talk about that.
Uh,
What was the name of that base?
we didn't have names for them. We had to go by numbers. We weren't allowed to tell the name of the bases. So really, I can't tell you that. But the number of it was AF 110, Air Force 110.
You had to get to the bomb shelter several times.
And when we first went over there, we were with even though I was in the Army, we were in what was known as the 8th Bomber Command. And it was switched over later on to the 8th Army Air Force. And that's what I was actually discharged from later on.
So you were there in the finance office making sure, among other things, that everyone got their paychecks. And,
Yeah.
and so Clark would come in, Mr. Gable would come in and get his paycheck on occasion? Is that what he would do?
Yeah, he'd come in and we made an error. I say we made an error. It was the way he was classified. It caused us to underpay him. And there was a couple of months that he didn't get much. But he came in before we had time to set up the finance office and had some money on him. Well, he had some, what do you call those checks? I'm lost for words again.
Senior moment. Having a senior moment.
What do you call traveler's check?
Yeah.
That's what it was. I forgot what it was now. But a traveler's checks, he had a couple $1,000 that he wanted me to take care of. And I was the ranking non-commissioned officer in the finance department. In fact, at that time, the finance officer hadn't gotten to the base. We didn't even have a finance officer. But we did. We had received the safe that we would use to keep our money in, about this long, about that high. But two men could carry it anywhere.
Yeah.
And I explained to Lieutenant Gable that we didn't have any ways of keeping it for him other than putting it in that safe. I said, I've got the key to the safe, but I said, we don't have any military police to guard that overnight. I said, all we can do is lock the door and walk out at night.
So what did he do?
And what he did, he said, well, I'll take your word for it. And says, it's about as safe here as it would be me carrying it around. So I still put it in the safe. And he came back, 4, 5, 6 days later and got it.
Yeah. By then he had made several movies, right? In fact,
yeah. That was, by the way, when I graduated from state, the last semester at state, and I reckon it was in May 1948, I saw Gone with the Wind. At the Ambassador Theater. Used to be on the Federal Street, where they've opened up again, just about a half a block from the Capitol. So that's when I saw Gone with the Wind. And it was playing in London at Warner Brothers Studios when he got over there. And he couldn't get off the base without, they furnished him a Jeep. I say they, the government did, the commanding officer on our base. Furnished him a Jeep, but he says, I can't enjoy. He says, I can't get off of the Jeep for going town. He says, it's bothering me so.
Yeah.
He said, I want to be just a regular GI like you are.
Yeah.
And he, I don't know whether, I reckon he did finally go, but I never did see him in town when I went in town.
Yeah.
And every time I got a chance to get him past, I took off. And we were 8 miles, Arundel was 8 miles from Peterborough. And Peterborough, England is on the main line from London to, what's that place in Scotland?
Edinburgh?
Edinburgh, Scotland.
So you could just get on the train and go to London.
About an hour.
Did you go to London often?
Every time got a chance.
Yeah. Great fun.
Yeah.
Even with the air raid sirens.
Even with the IRA. And I mean, I've been there when it went off, too. Well, they were bombing London. We first got over there every night.
Right.
And I was on a base that I could hear those German planes every night.
Yeah.
And of course we had blackout.
Yeah.
We couldn't. Every one of us was furnished a flashlight, and that we wasn't supposed to shine it up at all. We were always down.
Yeah.
That was the instructions.
Yeah. Back to your movie star friend, but he did fly a few missions, didn't he?
Yeah, he flew his required number of missions, came on back to the States, and I believe he finally was promoted to a major. Not while he was over there. I think he got that when he got back to the States. But his crew, when I first landed in England, it was on a B-17 base. That's all I was on the whole time I was there. B-17 base. They weren't doing any night flying, but they were trying to do it all in the, of course later on they started flying night and day. But they had to do some practice flying what called close formation.
Mm-hmm.
And one day they were doing this close formation flying, and Gable's crew was in that group. But for some reason, I don't know why it was, something he didn't get on that group that time. And one of his planes, another one ran into it and killed everybody in there except one person.
Wow.
The fellow that was riding the tail on that B-17, it knocked it off and he landed all right, safely.
Wow.
The others were killed.
Wow.
So all of his crew was killed except one.
Wow.
Right there before they even went on any mission.